Subscribe to the channel for more stories like this, and don't forget to hit the bell icon.
The 15th of August, The Fire Within, Arti's Legacy. Once upon a time, in a small village situated amidst lush green hills, there lived a young girl named Arti. Arti was a spirited and inquisitive child who used to dream of bringing change in the world. Her eyes lit up with hope and determination, and she believed that each person had the power to create positive change. August 15th was an important day for the village because it was a symbol of the celebration of India's Independence Day. The entire village will come together to remember the country's freedom struggle and the heroes who fought for it. This year was going to be special, as Arti was selected to represent her school in the Independence Day parade. Excited and filled with a sense of responsibility, Arti spends days rehearsing her speech and rehearsing her role in the parade. However, a few days before the celebration, he saw something disappointing. Many elders in the village, and even some of his classmates, had lost their enthusiasm for Independence Day. The function felt more like a routine event rather than a heartfelt tribute to the freedom fighters. Determined to rekindle the spirit of patriotism and inspire her community, Arti embarks on a mission. He decided to know more about the sacrifices made by the freedom fighters, the stories of their bravery, and the hardships they endured for the freedom of the country. He visited the village library and spent hours reading books about India's freedom struggle. As she turns every page, her admiration for the heroes grows, and her resolve to make a difference grows stronger. Arti couldn't wait to share her newfound knowledge with the village. The night before Independence Day, Arti stayed up late writing an impressive speech that touched the hearts of her fellow villagers. She knew that her words had to be authentic and passionate, just like the stories she had read about freedom fighters. The next morning, the village square was buzzing with excitement. People gathered dressed in their best traditional attire, but there was still a sense of quietness. As the parade began, Arti proceeded to deliver her speech. Her voice was trembling with emotion, but she spoke from the depths of her heart. They shared stories of brave men and women who fought valiantly against oppression, who faced unimaginable odds, and yet never gave up on their dream of an independent India. Arti painted vivid pictures with her words, and her listeners were moved to tears as they reminisced about the sacrifices of the past. The talk of Arti went very deep in the hearts of the villagers. They realized that Independence Day is not just about flag hoisting and parades, but about honoring the struggle and sacrifice of countless unsung heroes who contributed to the country's freedom. His passionate words ignited the flame of patriotism in the hearts of everyone, young and old. The elders of the village, who had lost their enthusiasm, rekindled their sense of pride in their country. His classmates were also inspired to learn more about the history of India and its rich cultural heritage. A few weeks after Arti's impressive speech on Independence Day, one evening, she was sitting under an old banyan tree at the village square. As the sun dipped below the horizon, casting a warm orange glow on the surroundings, she saw an elderly man slowly walking towards him. The man's name was Mr. Sharma, a war veteran who had fought for India's independence in his youth. However, in recent years, he had become somewhat isolated and rarely participated in village activities. Arti had always admired Mr. Sharma's bravery, but she sensed that something was bothering him. As Mr. Sharma approached, Arti greeted him with a warm smile. "Hello, Mr. Sharma. It's a beautiful evening, isn't it?" Mr. Sharma smiled, his eyes a mix of nostalgia and sadness. "Actually, it's Arti. You know, I couldn't stop listening to your speech on Independence Day," he said softly. Arti blushes, politely says that she has taken the time to listen. "I hope it will not be too presumptuous of me to speak about our freedom fighters," he replied, with a hint of concern in his voice. Mr. Sharma nodded slowly. "No, not at all. In fact, your words reminded me of my comrades who fought with me in those difficult times. I was taken back to the battlefield, and I was struck by their faces, their courage, and couldn't stop myself from remembering the sacrifices made." As he spoke, tears welled up in Mr. Sharma's eyes, and he looked away and tried to contain himself. Arti went ahead and put a comforting hand on his shoulder. "I'm sorry, Mr. Sharma, if my speech evoked painful memories," he said softly. "But please, know that the bravery of you and your comrades will never be forgotten. It is because of heroes like you that we have the freedom we enjoy today." Mr. Sharma nodded, appreciating Arti's sympathy and understanding. "Thank you, Arti. Your passion and determination have touched my heart. I had almost forgotten what it was like to be proud of our country, but you reminded me of the value of our freedom and the sacrifices made to achieve it, gave it." In that poignant moment, Arti and Mr. Sharma shared a bond that transcended generations. They sat together under a banyan tree, talking about the past and the future, till late into the night. Arti listened attentively as Mr. Sharma shared the stories of his comrades and the challenges they faced during the freedom struggle. From that day onwards, Arti and Mr. Sharma had an unbreakable bond. She would often visit him, and they would discuss for hours history, patriotism, and the importance of passing on stories from the past to the younger generation. Their emotional meeting serves as a poignant reminder to both Arti and the village that history is not just a distant memory, but a living heritage that has shaped the present and the future. Arti's empathy and willingness to listen not only healed the old veteran's heart, but also strengthened the community's resolve to honor and cherish its history and heritage. And so, under a banyan tree, Arti's emotional meeting with Mr. Sharma became symbolic of the deep impact one person's actions and compassion can have on others, further igniting the flame of change in the hearts of those he touched. Got faster. From that day, Arti became a symbol of inspiration and change in the village. They organized workshops to educate children about the importance of preserving the heritage and traditions of their country. He led cleanliness drives and tree planting initiatives to create a more sustainable environment. Arti's unwavering determination and selfless efforts earned her respect and admiration not only from her village, but also from the neighboring communities. As the years passed, Arti's influence spread beyond her village. She became a teacher and traveled to rural areas, imparting knowledge and instilling a sense of pride in India's history among children. His story of going from a young dreamer to a symbol of change has inspired countless others to believe in their own abilities and work towards a brighter future. On every Independence Day, the village would gather to listen to Arti's speech, which had become an annual tradition. His words continued to resonate in the hearts of people, reminding them of the power of determination, wisdom, and love for one's country. And so, a little girl named Arti, with her indomitable spirit and thirst for knowledge, changed the course of her village's history and inspired generations to come. Her story serves as a reminder that each person has the potential to be a catalyst for positive change, and that the smallest of actions can ignite a fire that will burn brightly for years to come. Synopsis. A passionate individual armed with knowledge can ignite a flame of positive change.